Well, that man, Jamiel Shaw, joins us now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
It's always difficult to relive your story. Jamiel Shaw II was murdered by a gang member from Mexico who was in the U.S. illegally. It's a difficult story. You were acknowledged by the now Republican nominee for the presidency here in this country. What do you now feel about Donald Trump after he's been running now for many months?
Oh, man, it's awesome. You know, we feel really good. I remember when I heard that Cruz had dropped out and Trump was going to be the presumptive nominee. I remember raising my hand in the air and telling my son, we did it, man. You know, we halfway there. This is for you. This is for you. This is all for you.
Wow.
I mean, and everybody else, but, you know, personal for me.
It was really an emotional moment. How do you feel, knowing your story, how do you feel about those who say Donald Trump is just saying these things, and he says he's going to do these things, but he's not going to follow through. He doesn't mean it.
Well, that's the same thing they said when he first started, when he wanted to be president for the first time. Oh, he's going to drop out, and people won't support him. He won't get the votes. Well, they come out in the code, and on and on and on. Now it's just the same thing. Those same people spent the whole since July saying he never would make it, and now what, he's there. So I don't care what they say now. I mean, they have no credibility to me.
And Jamil, I want to get to this because this is breaking this morning. The former Mexican president, Vicente Fox, he's now changing his tune on Donald Trump. He's been on this program. He's been very critical of Donald Trump throughout this process. But now he's saying the presumptive Republican nominee should take a trip south of the border. He's actually apologizing. Listen.
I think it's very important to invite Donald Trump to come to Mexico and to learn about the real Mexico that is, I would think, totally different.
Jamil, what do you think? Will a trip to Mexico by Donald Trump change his mind?
No, it shouldn't. I mean, because they want him to come to try to get him to do something. It's almost like deceptive. They want him to believe that this is how we really are. Everything that's happening in America, that's not who we really are. But we know it is. It happened to my son. So how are you going to fix that when you have thousands of American citizens murdered by people from Mexico, and just come in there and see how they put on a show just for the television set, and at the same time, I go to the cemetery to see my son. So, you know, I wouldn't even go. But if he has to, you know, do what he got to do. But it shouldn't change nothing.
And Jamil, just a little bit more color on your son's murder. His killer was released from prison the day before the shooting without immigration authorities putting a hold on him. Pete Hegseth is sitting to my left and has a question for you,
no,
sir.
Powerful story, Mr. Shaw. I appreciate you speaking up about it. And so many of the opponents of Donald Trump have criticized him and called him a racist for this stance. He's racist for talking about illegal immigration. What do you say to folks who say this is all for him, just about being anti-immigrant, anti-Mexican?
You know, they say the same thing to me. People tell me I'm a racist. I said, why am I racist? Because I'm pissed off that my son has been shot dead in the street by an illegal alien? Why is Trump a racist? Because he wants something done? Trump doesn't like, excuse me, Trump doesn't want people to be shot dead in the street by anybody, especially somebody from another country. It's unacceptable. And to call us a racist is just like putting a stop sign in front of you. But, you know, we just go around the stop sign.
Amen.
Wow. Also, I want to get to this, Jamil. New reports showing a possibility of Donald Trump, of a presidency of Donald Trump, has immigrants across the nation rushing to apply for U.S. citizenship. Your take on that?
Well, hey, according to Donald Trump, no matter what happens, they're going to be deported, they're going to build a wall, there's going to be E-Verified, they're going to start going after these gangs, the criminals in the jails. So that's just one little step, you know, but they're not going to stop nothing. This is a big picture. It's even bigger than me. It's bigger than my son. I'm doing this here. My son is dead. I'm doing this here for everybody else. You know, I have another son. I don't want him to be shot dead. I have nieces and nephews. You know, I want to have grandkids. This is about Americans first. You know, you can't allow illegal aliens to murder anybody. One is too many, and we're into the thousands now. So it's unacceptable, and we're going to keep on pushing, and we hope Trump is going to do what he said he's going to do. We believe it. We have real hope. We're looking for real change.
Jamil, with your story, do you feel like you've had success, like bringing people over, family members, friends, to Trump, to support Trump?
Oh, yeah. People call me every day Twitter, Facebook, emails, telephone calls. People support Trump. You know, some people are scared because they have careers. People in the movie industry talk to me, but they can't go forward because they got to work, and it's sad. But everybody behind the scenes has said, you know what, I'm going to go into that voting booth, I'm voting for Trump, but I can't talk about it, but I'm going to do it.
Mr. Shaw, thanks again for sharing your story with us. Now that you're seeing Mr. Trump be the presumptive nominee, and of course his stance is still controversial in the Republican Party, what do you say to the other Republicans debating whether or not they should join Mr. Trump? And some of them have doubts, including over this issue. Have you reached out to any of them? Have you talked to them? What's your message for the rest of the GOP?
Oh, no, they don't talk to me. You know, I've been to Washington, D.C., spoke before Congress 3 times, so they know about me, and they understand what we're trying to do. They understand that they have a job to do, you know, and we expect them to do their job. We've been promised so much from the Republicans, you know, since Obama came in. If you're going to give Obama a chance, give Trump a chance. I mean, it couldn't get no worse than it is now. It's going to be better. He's talking about doing good things. He's not talking about hurting anybody. He's talking about making people follow the law. It's already on the books. If you come into the country, that's a crime. But they want to ignore that part, but we don't. We think that the first time you come into the country, no matter what your motives were, to get a job, to help your family, it's still against the law. Deal with that first.
Jamiel, this is a bit of a turn, but also in news this morning, as we continue to talk about whether or not political correctness has gone too far, the Oakland Police Department has been forced to issue an apology over a press release urging people to not drive drunk on Cinco de Mayo, which is today. And Jamiel, we were just asking you, do you think that people are taking political correctness too far in this country?
Oh, yeah, it's way out of control. People can't even talk. Whenever we talk about legal aliens around my neighborhood or people, they always start whispering. Everybody's scared like they're going to get in trouble if they just stand up for themselves. So that's what I'm here for, to say, hey, look at me. I'm a regular Joe Blow from the neighborhood. You know, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a celebrity. But look at what I'm doing. I'm no different than anybody else. It's time to stand up. We have to live in this world right now. We're entitled for our chance to live here without being oppressed by illegal immigration. The black community is decimated. There's no black community. They talk about it on TV, and we're always saying, where is it? Where's the black community? It's not black anymore. Nothing.
Good for you for speaking out, and thank you for joining us this morning. And for those who are unfamiliar with your story, your son's killer was then convicted of first-degree murder in 2012 and was sentenced to death. And Jamiel, you're a brave man for speaking out about it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and keep up the good work. I watch you guys all the time, and I like everybody.
Good to have you.
Thank you, Jamiel. Thank you.
Thanks,
I love
Jamiel.
Okay.